Okay, good afternoon, doctor. Good afternoon, classmates. Today, my summary of this article, it is about the second language and literacy learning in school and at home. It is about an ethnographic study of Chinese Canadians first graders' experiences. So about this study, it is based on the theoretic perspectives of social constructivism and language socialization. This study reports two Chinese Canadians, first graders' experiences of language and literacy learning in and out of school in a unique social culture. Socio-cultural setting where they were the mainstream. The article also examines the students' reading and writing practice in school and at home, as well as their parents and teachers' thoughts, beliefs, resources, and concerns regarding their literacy learning. Okay, about the background of this study, research on minority and or English as a second language students' home and school literacy practice has concluded that literacy is a part of a student's lives and out of school. Also, students experience perception and insights can provide valid and thoughtful information about learning and may directly or indirectly influence teachers' instructional practices. Okay, about the problem statement, since very few study has addressed young minority and all ASL children's experiences, especially those of young Asian Pacific children in their particular socio-cultural and socio-economic contexts. With the large of influx of Asian Pacific children who face the challenges of linguistic, cultural, and academic adjustment in today's school, such exploration particularly needs to better understand their learning needs. Okay, the next one is about the research questions. First one, it is what are the children's learning experience at home and at school about this study? Okay, the second one is what are the teachers and the parents' perception of their learning in these settings? Okay, the third one, what are the factors that shaped the children's learning experiences at home and at school? The last one is what are the impli- what are the impli- what are the implications of their experiences for educators and learners? Okay, the next one is rationale of using ER. Since in this paper, researcher situated his understanding of two children's experiences and their intersecting social relationship in the world of home and communities. Also, under the world of our school, the researcher looked at the forces that sustain the continuous engagement with the literacy and the factors that deter their investment in learning. From a social constructivist perspective, the researcher looked at the second language learning as a dynamic social process in which a learner is an active meaning maker. Okay, for the literature review, I just took few opinion from this study. Since first one is a research on students' school and home literacy connection. Literacy connection has 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 predominantly focused on minority groups such as Latinos, and African American. Although Asian Pacific children have become one of the fastest growing group population in North American school, they have received relatively little attention in educational research due to their particular minority status. Okay, for the data collection technique, first one, the researcher entailed weekly visited since one school day per week to their classroom. The next one is observation. The second one is structured interview with their teachers. The last one is informal conversation with their children's parents. Okay, about the finding. The finding suggests that exist greatest linguistic and cultures discontinuity between the Chinese children's school and home language and literacy experience. The children view school and home literacies as a separate entities rather than a continuum. Such perception further widen the gap between their development of a school literacy, which is medicated through English language and culture, and that of a home literacy, which is mentioned through Chinese language and culture. Also, the finding shows that these children's learning experiences were also influenced by their conflicts between the school's cultural values and those of their families, which include dissensions on literacy expectation, homework, parenting, and instructional approaches. Okay, for the living between two separate worlds of school and home, the students are often burdened with the consequence of the cultural clashes and become sides of a struggle between teachers and parents. Also, and hence placed in a dangerous position for potential failure at school. Okay, that's all my summary about this article. Since this article is based on the theoretic perspective of social constructivism and language socialization, since this article is very useful for those Chinese Canadians. They can learn language, maybe can help the educator to change their strategies to teach students. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, everyone.